Hi guys, my name is Tammy and I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and this is my puppy Tito that is sleeping right now. In this video, I'm going to be talking about lower back pain that is caused by a trauma that you've experienced in the past 6 weeks. As always, before we start the video, make sure to take a second, look at the indications, contraindications and red flags, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now, with this type of lower back pain, this is something that just happened. Maybe you fell, it was a work accident, it could have even been a really bad car accident. So your lower back is super sensitive. Every movement is hurting. It's usually just localized to that area though, okay? Usually you're not having pain traveling anywhere, but anything you do is excruciating pain. Now, before we start, I'm just going to tell you that definitely try ice. You can do electrical stimulation to help manage the pain, but eventually you need to start doing some sort of exercises to help with your lower back pain and get those muscles moving again. So when we have trauma, there's obviously a lot of inflammation in the area, and that is what's causing your pain. But also our brain is so smart and it's like, okay, I have to support the spine. What happens is that the muscles of the lower back go into a spasm to try to protect that lower back. And that is great at the beginning for that support that we might need. But if we don't start moving and stretching it, that stiffness will stay even when everything else is okay. And this is what usually leads to a chronic back pain, which we want to try to avoid. So most of our exercises will take place on the mat. That's why I kind of set up my station here for this video. Okay guys, so we're all going to lie all the way down on our back. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, your neck is relaxed, and all you're going to do is gently tilt side to side, okay? And this is pretty slow movement. And see how you feel. If you want, then eventually you can go a little bit deeper. We're just creating a little bit of rotation in our spine. And you can repeat this 10 times on each side. Then the second exercise is going to be a single knee to chest. Now I want you to keep the other knee bent for this one. Interlock your fingers behind your knee and then gently try to come up. You don't need to go too low. All you need to do is create a little bit of stretch in your glutes. And you're going to hold this for between 10 to 30 seconds. And then you can try it on the other side. And I'll make sure to write all the reps for you guys in the description. The third exercise is going to be a double knee to chest. So again, bring your knees all the way up and bring your knees to your chest. This one you should be feeling it more in your lower back. You guys, I'm not really pressing too hard. I'm just providing a little bit of a gentle stretch, but you'll feel this more in your lower back. And this is going to be one of your best exercise, and this is going to be one of the best exercises for you. Now the next exercise is going to be a child's pose or a prayer's pose. You have a couple of options here, you guys. You can keep your knees close to one another. I personally like my knees apart and my feet together, and then from there all you're going to do is gently bring your body all the way down. Now if you don't have the hip mobility like I do, you can always just keep your bum up and bring the rest of your body down, okay? And you should be feeling a really nice stretch again in your glute, lower back, even upper back. And then from there, you can bring both arms to one side and then the other side. Now, each one of these movements, again, you can hold between 10 to 30 seconds. I personally like to hold these for a minute myself and not repeat them. Right? So if you're doing 10 to 30 seconds, you might repeat them 2-3 times. I like to hold it for a minute and a half each. It's just, I feel like a deeper stretch when I do that. The next stretch we'll do together is a hamstring stretch. There are a gazillion different ways of doing a hamstring stretch. I want you guys to start with the one on your back. I'm gonna use my yoga strap for this. You guys can use a belt, a sheet, a towel. And all we're doing is basically putting the towel underneath our foot. Then you lie down, keep one knee bent, the other one you're going to just gently pull it up. And maybe you're not here, maybe you're here and you're holding and you're feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg, your calf, okay? And eventually you work your way up, coming all the way up, as long as it's not increasing your lower back pain. If this aggravates your lower back pain, hold off on it. When the inflammation is down, get back into doing your hamstring stretches. They're one of the most important stretches we need to do if we're having lower back pain. And the next stretch is one of my favorite stretches, a Piriformis stretch. I have a video dedicated to Piriformis stretches, variations of it. But here we are only going to do a simple one. So one foot is on the floor, the other one you bring your foot planted on your knee and gently press this knee down. Now you should be feeling a nice stretch in your glute going up towards your knee. You hold it again 30 seconds or more. So these stretches, I'm wanting to, Piriformis and hamstring, you hold more than 30 seconds, okay? If you want deeper stretch, you can always just bring your foot closer to your bum and then again push that knee down and repeat on the other side. Okay guys, now let's say you've done the stretches for the first week, your condition is actually better now, you're not in as much constant pain. I want you to start incorporating strengthening exercises, because if we're not moving for a long period of time, we lose so much muscle, and then that only complicates issues because we're compensating more pain, and then this vicious cycle continues. So we need to make sure that, you know, as soon as you start tolerating it, we want to incorporate strengthening exercises. So the first one is going to be our clamshells. I like to call these the Jane Fonda workouts or the J-Lo workouts, whatever you guys relate better to. What I want you to do is bend your knees. So my hips are bent too. I'm at a 90-degree angle, knees together, feet together. You're going to bring your knee up and down. Okay, so you're going to repeat this about 3 sets of 10 for all of them, okay? Now, it doesn't matter how high you're coming, you guys, as long as you feel that burning sensation in your glute, on your side glute, it's good enough for me. The second exercise is a hip abduction. Again, you guys, we have videos for all of these. Again, you can check them out in the description. So that's your hip abduction. Make sure your toes are not going up. It's not this, it's this way. Again, you should be feeling it here. And the third one is a hip adduction. Again, foot in front of you or behind you, and you just lift your leg up, okay? Now that we're done with the strengthening and sideline, you repeat it on the other side, and then we're only gonna do 2 more here. And hopefully once you start feeling better, you can just continue with the rest of the core strengthening exercises. Again, the link will be in the description. The first one is going to be a posterior pelvic tilt. I feel like I'm teaching this in all of the lower back videos. Take your hands, put it right on your pelvis. So that's the bone, it's a semi-circle right here. And I want you to tilt, hold for 5 seconds, and relax. So it's almost like you're pushing your lower back into the mat, holding for 5 seconds and relaxing, okay? Again, all of the strengthening, you're doing 3 sets of 10. If you have to hold like these ones, you hold for 5 seconds. And the last exercise is a bridge. So your hands are on the mat. You want to kind of be able to touch your heels, because if your heels are too far, you won't be doing a glute exercise. It'll turn into a hamstring exercise. So I want it to be a glute exercise. Feet are hip width apart, knees are hip width apart, hands are on the mat. You're going to do your posterior pelvic tilt, squeeze your bum, come up, hold for 5 seconds, come back down. Squeeze your bum, up, hold, and back down. Again, make sure with your bridges that it's not causing pain. If it is causing a lot of pain, just stay in that pain-free range of motion. So maybe you only go up 2 inches off the mat, and then by next week you'll be able to do a full range of motion of this exercise. All right, now pretty much with this condition you have to wait for the inflammation to go down, but once the inflammation goes down, and make sure to try to incorporate the range of motion exercises we just did together, the strengthening exercises, the stretches, and I'll make sure to put more links in the description for you guys in case you want to progress your way, but definitely this is something that will go away and you can go back to your normal routine as long as you make sure that you are following your rehab protocol. Because although this will heal, if you're not doing your stretches, you're strengthening your core exercises, your range of motion exercises, it can easily turn into a chronic condition. And I cannot tell you how many people I see at the clinic that are suffering from chronic lower back pain, and it's because it became integrated into their lifestyle. And it leads to a lot of use of pain medication, you guys. So many people are on Percocets and hydrocortisones, and so many people are on heavy pain medication for something that could have been prevented if the rehab was done at the beginning of their trauma. But if you are someone who is going through that and it has turned chronic, it's still not too late, you guys. If you start stretching, strengthening, and trying to do your functional movements, eventually you'll have enough strength that you will be functional and eventually the pain will go away. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write a comment for me. And if you liked the video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.